unfavorable position to be pushing into, which is why it has completely fallen out of meta. But now that the meta has shifted all over to the other side of the map, where people attack through the bedroom and through the through 90, and then taking that 90 corridor control, and then not really funneling in through that doorway, but sort of just like taking that, maybe trying to surround it the other way, trying to take a little bit of that attention over into the study side. Meanwhile, the actual push is coming in from top red, where your planter is going to be in. It's called default plant position for a reason. It's because it's the default one. It's the one that's easiest to do. It's right behind that vault door. Very difficult to actually contest that door, to contest that position. So, because of that meta, that top red shield is the most crucial position for you to be holding on to for that bomb site. Which is why once... Oh, boy. That was unfortunate there from Selberg. Although I do think that he destroyed that drone there at the end, so... it worked out, although it was a bit messy. But nevertheless, that is why I say that once they lost rush there on that top red shield, that's when it was as good as lost. And now, they recognized, okay, maybe that wasn't our strongest site, so let's try and go for something else, something that we're a lot more comfortable with, something that we're a lot more confident with, and something that we know that we can win, or maybe even just something to throw ETERNO a little off course. Which is why they're going for this dining room and kitchen instead. Selberg back on the Solus, just downstairs trying to find out as much information as possible. And it's Z7 to strike first this time, taking down Zephin, the undefeated, or undisputed rather, MVP of the previous map. With, what was it at the end, like 18 kills to his name? Definitely did very, very well for himself, and right now, I find himself to be the first one dead, and a very high utility operator as well of Fenrir, of course. Most of his utility has already been placed down, but considering that he's a very mobile and versatile operator, it's tough to know how much those gadgets will actually be in use, or of use. Considering everything, and the rest of them are just falling apart like dominoes. Rush gets caught off guard instead of living room. Yikes, Keppa falls up as well inside of dining room, or inside of library, my bad. And, well, the rest of the team is completely falling apart. Selberg will be the last one to fall to a grenade inside a pantry as he was actually trying to run away. But there's... how much you can do when there's a cooked grenade flying straight at your face. ETERNO take a 2-0 lead, and 5STARS found themselves in a desperately familiar position of trailing rounds. Really not a position where they want to be in, especially on a slightly defender-sided Villa. Of course, I was talking about this, how... a 5-1 split isn't that bad on Theme Park because it's so forgiving to you on defense. Like, if you start on an attack, you have a 5-1 split. It's not that bad because you are going to the superior side after that, so you still have a lot of opportunities. I was really drilling into 5STARS for that on Chalet, where they did have a 5-1 split, and I was like, Chalet is not forgiven when it comes to that at all. It is very difficult to attack. It is not that difficult to attack, and it is pretty split down the middle, and a lot of attacks do get won. So, it was really looking, not even 50-50 for 5STARS. I wouldn't have given you good odds if I was a betting organizer. I wouldn't have given you good odds, but they pulled it out anyway, and now trailing 2 rounds on a defensive side of Villa when they're starting on a defense, and I do believe that this is their map pick as well, will be a bit of an issue, going forward. The utility there, take care of those drones, Selberg, fighting a couple of them. Not really in a position to move it just yet, and I do believe it has by now already been shot out. It does look like it, so no point to even try to move it, but nevertheless, even if it does get shot out and you don't get to use it yourself on the defense, it's still a piece of utility that the attack now doesn't have. And Selberg getting drowned out quite heavily, and finally they find him. He's gonna have to rotate around. Blew a C4 just in case. Not sure where that was pre-placed, but it didn't find anything. A minute gone, and really not much has happened. It went back to that Aviator Games bomb site, and this time with a lot more presence, a lot more pushback on that Aviator side. Of course, this is a place where Selberg was already lurking before, and he was able to find a kill off the back of it. Not really so much right now, and there we go. Grenades are flying down at that shield, and they find Rush despite those mine magnets. How unlucky for them to lose that position again. I mean, I talked so long about why that position is so important. They lose it early again. This time, of course, they do have those Vulcan canisters, keeping them at bay for a little bit longer, but Zeffin peeking the exact same position that he peeked before, loses his life yet again, and gives ETERNO that advantage that they needed. In a 4 versus 5, 5-stars were still standing pretty strong, but now it's looking a lot worse for wear. However, Stelberg finding that kill onto Z7 really could be the opening that they need to try and keep this one at bay. But there's still so many angles for them to watch, and they really don't have enough people to watch everything. Grenade will start to come flying at Keppa. Luckily for him, it bounces off the wall, and it doesn't actually find him just yet. Venom creeping up to the wall, looking to maybe jump in. Getting contested there by Keppa as well. He pushes in, but he gets shut down. Keppa knows there's one player around 90. Does he know there's another player pushing in from that wall? He knows there's another player in study. He finds him, but Ansatori finds Selberg and Keppa instead. Oh, that's a reprints on the smoke. The plant going down yet again inside of Aviator, and there's nothing that he can do. Saves, finds that kill, wins the round, and oh my goodness, what is happening to them again? A round that was really looking good for them. They did not split themselves well enough. Reprints should have had that study covered off. There was no reason for Keppa to have turned around and try to cover off study. He should have been in a crutch position, holding on to Vault. Instead, he turned around, did get the down, but couldn't get the finisher. Reprints was, I don't know, nowhere to be found. I don't know if he was already down that classical hallway too far, if he was stuck at the bottom of the stairs and too afraid to peek onto the player inside of study. Whatever it may be, Keppa giving up Vault was absolutely detrimental there. But I can't say that is what lost the round. That is merely what lost that final 3v3. What I believe lost the round was, again, losing Rush. Losing him so early on. Not enough time wasted, not enough presence covered by 5-stars, and again, not having that opening pick the way that they did in previous rounds. It really did not, go well for them. And then losing Zeffin immediately after, both times, because he was peeking from that 90 angle and wasn't able to land the shots, got shot off instead. That is what lost the round, in my opinion anyway. I do believe that from their point on, there really was no way to recover. They had a really, really good chance to recover, but they misplayed it and they were mispositioned, and that's what lost them in the end. But nevertheless, it's a new round, new day. You're going for a different bomb site this time, just rotating all over the map till they find their footing. Really not something that you want to be wasting rounds for. Selberg in a silly position. Reaction time a little too slow to find that kill. C7 instead ends up being the victor and able to advance all throughout this map. It is a trophy statuary defense, and they've given up an entire chunk of the map pretty much instantly. Zeffin peeking right onto the doorway, and Satori from an upside down rappel position is able to find that kill, rappelling into the bomb site or into the bedroom itself right now. With the wall getting opened up, it is quite a lot of pressure now into the bomb site. Keppa is able to answer back finally onto saves. But it is still going to be quite a lot of work, and now Keppa, 2 Ys this time, finds E7. but runs straight into Venom's crosshairs. Rush narrowly missing there onto, I think that might have been Ensatori, but I'm not entirely sure. And it will get shut down by Ensatori, who now finds himself inside of the bomb site. Reprints all to his own. 1 versus 3, Alda in hand. Finds Ensatori, the planter. Finds another one as well, and now is able to go for that defuse. But of course, Venom is inside of Astro already, and he's going to be rushing him. There's a bit of a bait, and Reprints, good on the bait. Finds that kill. Wins the round. Oh my goodness, that was stressful. But 5-stars find the round. Finally, this time it did not take 5 rounds to find it. It took only 4, I guess, to find that first round, and they found it finally. How many times can I say something that starts with F and sort of sounds like finally found? Finland? I don't know. I guess that many times. But that was... I can't even say that that was well played for 5-stars, because it wasn't. But well played from Reprints to be so confident in that gunfight. That is something that I really grilled them for on Chalet, where so far throughout this entire series, ETERNO have been completely out of character, where they've been playing very, very aggressively. We've not really seen them play this aggressively so far ever, only when they were forced to, because they're playing against a very aggressive team. For example, Arctic Wolves. I remember a game like that where ETERNO, a team that doesn't normally play very aggressively, that plays very close to the chest. They, spent a lot of time behind the computer in Excel spreadsheets, watching their scrim replays over and over and over again, finding the exact positions that work, finding exact trajectories like they're doing the lineups in Valorant, and understanding exactly the position that works, why it works, and exactly everything that needs to happen for it to work. There's been a lot of data analysis, and that is what they figured out. And once they figured out those positions, that is what they stick to. They very rarely move from that sort of status quo. Only when they are forced to by a team that is aggressive and they have no other choice but to counter-aggress onto them. Like, for example, Arctic Wolves. This time, however, they went into it aggressive right off the bat. Already on Theme Park, they were very, very fast and very, sort of, I'm here, I'm there, I've killed you already. And, not Reprints, my bad. Kappa will go down, but I meant to say 5-stars have only really been able to find success when they counter-aggress. And, well, that is not what they're doing right now. Instead, they're holding angles, they get swung on, they lose their life. Keppa and Zephan, perfect examples. Not really sure where Reprints lost so much HP to, and Selberg will fall down as well. Couldn't really see that gunfight, so unsure how that one went down, but in that round previous, Reprints was only able to win that round and clutch that is because he was confident in his ability with the Alda, and he was confident that he could win it. The only times where 5-stars were able to find success was when they were aggressive, and so far, not really been able to see that from them, but there we go. Rush has a little bit of it in him, but Ensatori is raining hellfire from above with those fuse charges, and he shuts him down. It's MPH to find a final one. Oh god, he styled on him too. Nevertheless, though, ETERNO take that round as well, and now are looking ever so closely at that 5-1 split that they had on Villa, and I don't know if 5-stars are going to be able to pull off what they pulled off on Chalet and have such a big comeback and take it all the way into overtime again, or maybe not even into overtime, maybe not even have to come to that, but nevertheless, I don't know if that's something that they're going to be able to do. I'm not saying, they can or they cannot. I'm just saying that I genuinely don't know. It's going to be a test of time, for sure. And they're going back down to dining room and kitchen, knowing that, Aviator in games is a no-go. library and dining room, or library and living room is really an unfavorable sight, and that's something you see all that often in the first place, and definitely that's something that they really want to risk it with. They try to risk it on theme park with, actually it was this exact position. I believe it was, you know, it was their last round of defense, and they were like, okay, we're gonna go to, lab. It was not their last offensive round, but they tried the same thing. They were like, okay, let's go to labs and storage and see if we can catch them off guard. They couldn't. So they're deciding, okay, we tried that before. It's not gonna work now if we try to go for library and living room, and Kappa stays alive miraculously. Runs away from that grenade just in the perfect time. But now he's completely unaware of the fact that the sledge and a couple more players have jumped into the window. It doesn't matter if he finds that kill anyway. Can't find the second one, however. Too low HP. Zephin, however, answers back. Finds Venom. Selberg playing the Capcan. Waiting for them to get reckless and then find a kill maybe off the back of that. Or at least deal some significant damage. Now he finds himself inside a statuary. Z7 completely unprepared for that to happen. Loses his life. Ace, however, is there for refrag onto Zephin. And Satori creeping around. Selberg pushes down those stairs at just the right moment. And Satori in the meantime. Oh. NPH has disconnected. Z7 is disconnected. What the heck is going on? Luckily for them, they still have their tech pause available, considering that 5STARS were the ones to use their tech pause. It looks like Safes might be in a bit of a pickle, too. Rush taking a lot of damage from that fuse charge. I think one of them might be taking a little bit of damage as well, or is the Safes with the skin again. And Satori fighting by himself. Reference good to take care of that utility by shooting at it, not really allowing him to get that hatch open, even though he's roofed it around. Still doesn't really want to give them that entrance, and it does look like he has a skin, but I don't know if that's one of the illegal skins or not. It looks like a Pro League skin, and Selberg finds the kill with the Capcan trap. Very unlikely door for anybody to be ever going through. This is such an unlikely door for somebody to be going through. I guess maybe it's not that unlikely, but it's still like such a good read from Selberg to know, okay, I'm going to place the Capcan trap there. They're going to be walking in through the store and it's going to find them. And Story, beautiful shot onto Selberg. Now 10 seconds to go, 1 versus 2. Both players in and around the site. And there goes Reprints. Prone on the, oh, he wasn't prone, he was crouched. He was prone. No, he's crouched behind a bomb chassis. Not quite a pixel angle, but a tight one nevertheless. Finds that final kill. And now, as we hit the side switch, it will first be a tech pause for ETERNO. And that is now both tech pauses gone for both teams. I do believe that they still have a rehost available. I don't know if they're separate or not from the tech pause. They might have, which I personally don't think that's the way that it should work. I think that that's the way that it works per blast rules as well. I personally don't think that that's the way that it should work. I think that if you have a tech pause, it's a tech pause regardless of, you know, whether you need to rehost or not. But I'm not the one that makes the rules. I'm just a caster. I'm not the blast rule maker. But in any case, tech pause. And 5STARS get a little bit of room to breathe. Of course, it is a tech pause, but we can't really, you know, be like, hey, you're not allowed to talk. So they can also take this time to discuss their upcoming attacks. Of course, there's no reason for them to talk about anything that has gone on throughout this half, unless it's relevant in some ways. Like, oh, they play aggressive, so we should probably play aggressive. The round that we won was the rounds that we won was because we were aggressive. And it stands true again. It really remains true the entire time. I do believe that was was it Rush on the, what's his name? Mozzie being in their faces, getting that kill. Zeffin was right there to back him up, get that kill as well. Silberg with the Capcan, of course. There's nothing like oh, and there goes the rehost as well. So now they do not have the opportunity to rehost at a later point, unfortunately, which means that any further issues they're going to have to play outnumbered or forfeit, which would really be a shame because, as much as 5STARS want that win, I think that anybody in this position wants to win it, fair and square and can show it off and say, hey, I beat these guys, not because they couldn't get their internet order. But anyway, the only reason they won was because they were aggressive. I keep saying it, and it keeps remaining true. When it was reprints clutching back on Trophy and Statuary, it was him in a 1 versus 3 with a Alda in hand, which of course the Alda hits hard. But still, it was it came down to the aggression that I keep talking about. Because he, just swung them. It was like, okay, there's probably going to be a guy right here behind the actual statue itself, because that's a default plant spot. If they planted anywhere, they probably planted here or brick store. Let's just check it right here. He found it, saw in the corner of his eye a player inside the bedroom as well, shot him down, and then a beautiful fake or a beautiful bait on the diffuser to take down the final player as well. I do believe there was saves on the Iana. It doesn't really even matter who it was. The fact of the matter is that they got it. And then the second round that they won, this most previous one, was again them being aggressive. So it remains true the entire time that whenever 5STARS are able to counter aggress onto ETERNO, they get those round wins. Go back and watch the Chalet game. You will see the exact same pattern repeating itself. You will see 5STARS continue to win rounds, round after round, off the back of punishing ETERNO for their aggression and counter-aggressing onto them. We saw it, for the first, 6-7 rounds of the map, it was just Zeffin doing things. It was just Zeffin getting kills. And then as soon as Rush and Selberg really woke up and started, getting confident in those gunfights, they were good for it. And all that needs to happen for 5STARS here to equalize that scoreline and not let ETERNO get away with it is them getting confident with their gunfights and getting confident with their ability and knowing, hey, you want to swing me? I can swing you too, buddy, and I can win that gunfight. That is all that really needs to happen. I mean, it sounds silly for me to say, like, oh, that's all that needs to happen. It sounds like the equivalent of saying, oh, just click heads, bozo. But it's true. It's as soon as 5STARS figure out that what they need to do is counter-aggress onto ETERNO, they will start to win rounds. I don't know if that's something that they figured out in the previous map and are just choosing to ignore it for now, or if it was just by happenstance that they happened to play that way in the previous map. Whatever it may be, it needs to happen again, or I really do see ETERNO running away with this one. I have to say. I mean, they came into it favorites from the Champions League. They barely lost any games throughout the season. In general, really wouldn't, be too surprised. Although, in complete fairness, 5STARS came in with a pretty much the exact same score of never losing games, except theirs extends all the way through the qualifiers. I mean, if you remember the Open qualifiers, 5STARS didn't lose a single game. It was 5 rounds, they didn't lose a single one. Close qualifiers, I think they lost 1. So that was, 9 games in a row that they won, and then throughout the entire season, they also continued to win, 10 more. So, these are very, very good teams. it's just 5-stars currently not really looking like themselves. They're not looking like a flawless run team, although that one might just do it. Venom getting too aggressive on a spawn peak, although what the hell kind of spawn peak was that? I don't know. He gets shut down, however. And a beautiful opener for 5-stars. That might just be exactly what they need. This time, Flores is on the board, and they are able to clear some of this utility. We see Frost present yet again. I don't think we ever had a day where she was this present. I mean, we've seen her on Theme Park, we've seen her on Chalet, we see her again on Villa. She's been everywhere with us. And with Flores, that utility might be a little bit easier to clear, and 5-stars are going for a completely off-meta push. Of course, I talked a big game about how nobody does this anymore. It's a suicide mission, but 5-stars have figured out how to do it and how to do it hopefully successfully for them to be comfortable enough to go for this, 2 or 3-year-old push, and it's working because Selberg will find another one into MPH. Zephan, unaware of how far into study Satori made it, could have lost his life there, but luckily for him, he does not. And Selberg might have been in a frost mat right there, but Zephan finds the refrag. Not onto Z7, however, the Frost, who will get shut down right there. Did I jinx him? I may just have, and Keppa will find the last one of the safes. That's, when he was just staring at the wall right there and it was so zoomed in, I thought that something had glitched out because I genuinely couldn't think of where in the map he was in that moment. I was like, what in God is this? Green? What map ever has green? Turns out Villa. Turns out it's the bedroom wall. But in any case, what did I say? As soon as 5-stars start to take gunfights, they will start to win the rounds. They took those gunfights, they punished the spawn peeker, they took the gunfights, and they ran with it. They got the round win. It sounds silly when I say it, oh, this is all that needs to happen, but that is truly all that needs to happen. And that tends to be sort of the pattern, or the ideology behind it, rather, that if you're dealing with an aggressive team, the only way to counter them is by being aggressive back. You cannot really get away with it being passive and being slow and steady. Think of it if you're playing in a ranked game, and your opponents are from a different region, and they're ping abusing, and their ping is like 150, yours is 20, and you're like, I can't play against this. This is awful. This is bullcrap. You're not gonna win it by holding angles, because they can just peek you, they can swing you. But if you start counter-aggressing onto them, then their ping is what starts to punish them. And that is where you really start to shine. And it's exactly the exact same thing, except they might not be aggressive due to ping, they might just be aggressive due to the playstyle. Doesn't matter. Same thing applies. And my god, there's a lot of drones flying up those red stairs. A couple of them getting shot out as well. Venom now taking up this position at the top of the counter. We saw I don't know, it was Selberg maybe? Back up on that position. And he was not able to capitalize off of it. Neither is Venom right now, but true enough, he does not get punished for it. Hopefully Keppa is aware of where he actually is. She doesn't look like Keppa at the moment knows, but airdrop goes down anyway to cut off anybody pushing in from that study side, and quite a heavy presence actually inside of this Aviator game side. Cutting off a lot of that presence. Oh, and the opening kill does come out. Z7 taking so much damage, but taking Selberg down with them. MPH will find Keppa as well. 5-stars down to just 3 people. Just a minute to go as well. There goes a jump in from Zephan. Oh, that is ping. That's ping right there. Z7 retreats away. nearly losing his life right there. MPH, not flashed, is able to find Zeppin through the wall and is able to continue to hold off the pressure coming in from the side of Astro and Reprince and Rush, despite being in a, yikes. Make that a 1v2. I was going to say a 2v2, but no. It was Reprince getting taken down by a C4 thrown up through the window. All on to Rush now. Diffuser outside, I believe. Oh, yeah, that's some ping issues, but wish that player is dead. I don't know what that means really for it. Or anything.
15 seconds.
In any case, though, Rush at this point just wasting time. There's only not much that he can do. The diffuser indeed is outside. And he's going to be swinging straight into the crosshairs of safes. Well, they brought it down. They really looked like they could be doing something, but oh, it was the C4 that did it all. ETERNO extend their lead yet again. 5 rounds to 3 now. Not that far away from catching them 5STARS, but still could be a bit of what? A bit of an issue.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Bringing that Frost again. Going back to Aviator and Games.
Shielded ready.
Trying to remember how it went, but I can't. I think 5STARS won that one.
10 seconds to go.
Hope to God, because I don't remember. I think that was probably the last round before the pre-host, which is why I don't remember, because it was like so long ago. I still have to tell from the kills, because I think all of those kills were on like the past 2 rounds. But, oh yeah, it was 5STARS that won it. Yeah, they went for, oh!
I'd say Kai taught me well.
It was 5STARS getting aggressive. They were taking those gunfights and they were able to find the round win. Hopefully they're gonna be able to do it here again. Oh yeah, it was the only round that they won in this half. What am I talking about? Yep, that's exactly what happened. It was the round where they were very aggressive and they were able to find those kills. They punished the Swamp Beaker and they were able to clear a lot of this utility with the Flores. They'll bring in it again and that utility will get cleared again. MPH nearly getting himself taken down. This time, unfortunately for them, the Flores drone will not clear the Frost mat as well, which could just become an issue later on. Oh no, yeah, I remember. It was a complete, like, shutdown. Selberg opens it up, finds MPH, who, due to ping issues, will have to leave after this round, meaning that ETERNO will have to continue outnumbered. And due to them not having a rehost available, I don't think they're going to be able to get another player to replace them. Saves taking out Selberg. Answering back onto that initial kill. Saves taking a little bit of damage to the window, but still fine. Kappa being the one to get away worse from that one. As he gets down, Zeppin a little cautious about actually going for the pickup there. Meanwhile, Rush finds Venom, safes, hears it through the window all the way downstairs, knowing that they're going to pick him up. But he misses the chance, but just a little bit. An advantage in the hands of 5STARS at the moment. D7 taking a lot of damage. I think that's at the top of the main stairs, having to rotate all the way into the bomb site as he's being hit up quite extensively. Reprince now joining Rush here on the stairs as well. Rush, beautiful swing, finds Ansatori. Flashbang flying in through. Rush with a Ionic phone trying to gain a little bit of information. Oh god, so many kills going on every which way, but in the end, it's 5STARS to win it out. Zephan with the final 2. Beautiful, actually, jump in to find it. And there we go. Unfortunately, due to ping issues, MPH just had to vacate the lobby. ETERNO will have to continue the rest of this map outnumbered 4v5. If they do not wish to do so, the only other option is to forfeit. Fortunately, the rules state as such that if a player in any team that is competing consistently has ping over 100 ms, they will have to leave the map. Now, at that point, or have to leave the game, rather. At that point, I think if this were map 1, I think they would be able to get a replacement or a substitute player. Okay, it doesn't look like they're too happy about this, but... or maybe it's just a glitch for saves? I truly don't know, because he's moving, like, so confidently through everything. I don't know. Anyway, they would have to... Yeah, I think it might be a glitch.
Left before insertion.
Shields up. Setting up.
I don't know. Anyway, I started it and stopped it so many times. If a player has consistently ping for over 100 ms, they will have to leave the game. If this was map 1 or even map 2, they would be able to get a substitute player for next map. And maybe, and I say this maybe because I don't know the rules, but if they still had a rehost or a tech pause available, they might be able to get it that way. But at this point, there's nothing that could be done for them. They do not have a rehost available. It is map 3, so there's really just nothing for them to do at this point. Venom narrowly avoiding death there as he gets shot through the wall. And stays alive to live another day. Rush is going to be kicking himself when he watches back to VOD and sees how close he was to getting a wallbang there that he could post to Twitter, or now X. Venom going down finally to Zephan, who's pretty alright for himself. We don't have the numbers of the previous half or before the rehost, so we don't know how many kills he actually got, and I forget. Satori finds Rush in a scuffle, unlike one I see too often, to be completely honest. And now Selbury will find Z7, saves, and Satori in an unfortunate position. 4v5 to begin with, and now a 2v4. Satori chancing a run out.
Defender has been
wow. Knew exactly where he was, knew exactly where to look. Beautiful read from Satori. Saves, pushing up the main stairs, shuts down Cellbreak as well. This is all of a sudden looking quite dire for the side of 5STARS. Plant attempted, interrupted by a C4, and Zephan is in a completely wrong position, unable to cover his teammate. Planting gives it all away, and Satori wins it miraculously. What? ETERNO are now on a match point. After that, what? You know, yesterday, I don't know if that was, if we said that on stream or off stream, but Reaperance mentioned how against Lumina on Bank, they kind of had a similar thing where it was like a 4v1, and then they lost the 4v1, they threw the 4v1. I haven't watched the VOD back yet, so I don't know if that was to win the game or if that was to lose the game or what that was for, but you know, they kind of threw it away, and they've been kicking themselves about it, and they're like, oh, pulling up 5STARS when you throw it away. Well, that, give me a better example. It's a 4v5 to begin with, and they just sort of give it away. Reaper's being in a completely wrong position there to cover up the plant. I don't know if that was his own misplay or if that was the team's miscommunication and miscoordination. But in either case, that's really not what lost it. Again, is the fact that the entire rest of the team fell like dominoes within like 3 seconds.
5 seconds remaining.
Beating Satori kills.
Attackers are heading out.
I don't know. I mean, one of them was a run out that, you know, kind of hard to counter. The C4 run out attempted. Reaper stays alive. Safes waste a little bit of that utility and isn't going to be able to use it later. C4 has been hitting like clockwork all day, so I don't really know why you'd give it away so for free. Maybe that's exactly why. Maybe he was like, okay, well, they've been hitting like clockwork. Maybe if I throw this one out onto the spawn, I get like 4 people and we can go have dinner. Instead, nope. And now this is going to have to go to overtime if 5STARS want to win it, which, yeah, I'll be bitter about it because how did 5STARS lose that round? But you know what? It's the last round. It's new round now. Grenade ripping out to the 90 hallway. It catches Z7, but luckily for him, he's docked, so he's able to stem himself back up to full HP and is able to contest these players for quite a while longer. Some of these drones coming in. Zephin's Twitch drone getting caught by a mute jammer and then getting shot at as well by the awaiting. I think that might have been the safes. Meanwhile, most of the pressure is coming from that bedroom side. Or not from that bedroom side, apologies, from the study side, rather. So the opposite side push does tend to be sort of the default, the meta, the whatever. Just sort of in general across most maps, you know, wherever the bomb site is, that's not where you go for. You go for around top floor, bottom floor, opposite end, whatever. And Satori finds Keppa. That will be the opening frag. Hopefully for 5STARS, Keppa had already placed on all of his air jabs, and those should hopefully be useful. Otherwise, you know, it's a really pointless death. A lot of time being wasted. 5STARS really not making too much room, but Z7 will find Rush here on this wolf door. Selberg now ever so close to the bomb site, but not really able to go in. And playing Ring Around the Rosie with Selberg as well. Reprints on the window. They spot out one player. Finally, they shut down Ansatori. Bring the man count back to even. Selberg taking a lot of damage, dealing some as well. Plant attempted. Reprints in Brick's door. Good cover from his teammates. Selberg finds Z7. Zephyr will find safes as well. Venom is in. What just happened? I guess we're gonna get to see it now from Selberg's point of view because we saw it from Venom's and it made no sense. But there we go. Selberg finds that kill. Honestly, I agree. I agree with the question marks from Silver Happy. What? Don't worry about it, it's a Selberg. Brain DC. True. But now, final round of regulation. A place that I really did not think that we'd get to see again. I mean, if you remember back, what was it, round 3, round 4, when 5STARS weren't looking too hot, and I said if they have another 4-2 or 5-1 split, I don't know if they have what it takes to bring another comeback. And luckily for them, they didn't have to go for a comeback as deep as the one that they had to do before. But my, oh my, the fact that they're having to go for anything that even remotely qualifies as a comeback at all already bugs me. Especially considering round, what was it, 10? No, I'm not gonna get over it. And Reburners will hear about it in DMs too. How the heck do you let that slip away that way? I'm gonna need to know. I'm gonna need team comms from that round. Just for my, like, personal, you know, mental health. Oh my god, that is an insane angle. Wow, I thought that was to catch anybody coming onto the balcony. I didn't think that could see all the way into the actual spawn. The fact that didn't hit the headshot, and if it did, I would have cried. I genuinely would have cried. And, well, Z7 is nothing short of it, right? Continuing with the punch hole little things, and this is where drones are really going to become important because you cannot let that be what kills you because you misdroned it. But yeah, I'm going to need a thorough investigation into that round from the side of 5STARS of how they lost it. Zephyr making good work of this switch shot, take care of a lot of that utility, those Mew jammers, but unfortunately it was not enough, and Ansatori finds Selberg, who managed to creep his way into Astro and all the way up onto the rotate, but hasn't been able to really achieve much more than that. Zephyr using his final Twitch drone to clear more of this utility, to clear those ADSs, to make Safe's a little bit unsafe in the position that he's currently playing. More of those drones coming out. 90 seconds to go. Bit of a stall here coming up for 5STARS as they pop another E1D line skin. Sheesh! I don't know who that is, but they narrowly avoided dying right there. I think that might be the Twitch. Yeah, it is indeed Stefan. Rush now joining him from the opposite end. They're going to try and pinch Venom off. Flashbang will come through. Or that was a smoke grenade, actually. This is Twitch. Was it anything? I don't know. But a grenade will come flying from below. It will miss. And Zephyr will find Z7, who... I don't know what that was. It was a sort of a ring around the row. Z Kappa finds Venom as well. It's all down to Sace and Atsatori, who I would not write off at all, considering what they were able to do before in round 10. Atsatori taking a lot of damage from the wolf window. And he goes down. All down to save. City gets shut down as well. Zephyr finds it. 5STARS take the round and take us all the way into overtime. Man, oh man. Man, oh man. I don't know what to do anymore. This has been such a roller coaster. This is wild. This should not be as close as it is. Like, they're never gonna live it down. It's the thing. Like, I'm trying to find something else to say about why this shouldn't be close and about like why we shouldn't be in overtime right now. I'm like, oh my god, we should all be having dinner right now. But no, it's round 10. It's how I genuinely want to know. To be a fly on the wall of their Discord call during round 10, to know what happened to make that be a loss. I want to know. Is it just that Ansatori is a god and is that good and 5STARS just completely fell apart? Or is there something more to it? I don't know. Again, I'm launching a thorough investigation into that round. Stay tuned.
10 seconds to go.
Follow me on truecrime.com. That's probably a real site. I don't know what it is. Oh my god, I've been casting for too long. My brain is completely fried. In any case, overtime again. I did not think that we'd see it once, let alone twice today. This is truly, I said it yesterday, and I think that it's really becoming more and more apparent the more that we go on, and it's going to become even more apparent throughout the rest of this competition, is that this is when you really start to see teams battle it out in ways that you never thought that a team could battle. Because now you're getting the best of the best, right? It's the top 6 of Revival League, right? From the qualifiers, from Premier League, from Champions League, these are your top tier teams. And they are all so closely matched to the point where this is the only thing you can expect. It's like, it's a BO3 series, but you can expect it to go overtime and all over the place, and teams to be losing map picks, their own map picks, and winning their opponent's map picks, and everything going not the way that you expected it at all. Right? But it's still so surprising to see it actually in the flesh. And Ansatori will find that opening frag yet again, back to his theme park glory, running around the map and finding that kill onto Selberg, who was just a little too excited. E1D line scan popped. 90 seconds to go. Iana clone spotting out a lot of that utility, and they know exactly what they're dealing with right now. Little flank watch dedication, but luckily for them, ETERNO aren't really too keen on going for a flank at the moment. Burning a lot of that utility. There it goes. What's it called? EMP as well. And Astori will find Keppa. And Safe still unmoved from the position that he's in on those red stairs. Venom in a terrifying position that really could be causing trouble if they are not careful, if they do not drone it out, which I don't think that they will, which that could be a problem. Russ trying to creep up those red stairs. This is a brilliant time now for them to double swing. They do not. Instead, it's Venom that comes up the victor and then also escapes back into the bomb site completely unscathed. 2 versus 3 now. 4 5-stars. It's Russian reprints back to their old ways. Reprints jumps in through the wolf window. Shoots camera that's already been dead for a while. 20 seconds to go. There's a player inside a vault. Or near around it. There goes a beautiful swing from Reprints. He looks away. Just the wrong moment. Venom tucked in on that vault door. Takes down another one. And it's Z7 from inside of the bar to take down Reprints. Good God. Oh my God. I want to break down everything that's going on, but I truly... a lot of what I'm seeing is coming down to gunfights and is coming down to misdroning these players a little bit. Venom had so much power in that position, and I knew that he would, because I knew that 5-stars wouldn't drone that, and they didn't end up doing it. If the double swing had been just a tiny bit quicker from Rush pushing out those stairs, and then... was it Selberg? No, Selberg was dead early. Keppa? No, it was also dead. Whoever it was. Pushing from Wolf Door. If they had both coordinated that just like a tiny bit better, and a tiny bit quicker, they would have been able to take care of Safes, the bandit, at the bottom of the stairs or at the middle of the stairs, and they would have been able to pinch off Venom as well, because he wouldn't have been able to kill both of them. This way, he killed one of them, and the other person wasn't close enough to get the refrag. So he was able to get back to site completely unscathed, and then win the round as well. Well, he wasn't the one that won the round, it was Z7. But you know what I mean? Like, there really isn't that much that's going on. Like, we've seen so much of this siege already happen, and this is overtime, so nothing is going to be different about anything than what we've already seen, right? It's going to be the same exact setups, it's going to be the same exact attacks. We already know that. So the only difference maker really is whether or not you can win the gunfights and whether or not you can put yourself in a position where your team is able to succeed. And 5-stars just were not able to do that round. And again, I will say it, this shouldn't be as close as it is. And ETERNO should not be winning rounds, because they are playing a 4v5. This should be a clean closeout from 5-stars. Instead, Venom will find the opening pick onto Keppa. C4 will hit from Rush from below, bring the man count back into their favor, but Ansatori is raining Hellfire again with those fuse charges from above, and they're still not in the clear.
The attacker's bomb diffuser.
There we go, Zephin finding a kill into safes through the floorboards. A C4 pre-placed right onto that diffuser. Beautifully thought of, and I think that might have been Zephin upstairs. Drops down through the hatch and is just walking around. Oh, the timing of that was just a little bit unfortunate. He picked up the diffuser and the C4 hit for a little bit of HP damage, but not really enough to put a damper on Ansatori's bombing party. Great Princess out of the bomb site. We saw him be really strong in this position before, especially with that frost and that, what's it called? Is it a CA? Or is that Buck's gun? I don't know. I think they're both a CA, right? Doesn't... Is it a C? Yeah, it might be the C1. I think I'm thinking of the Bucks. Bucks a CA. Oh, but anyway... They've already dropped into the laundry. The Phantom Gadget keeping them blind. Rush will find Z7. It's all down to Ansatori now. Wouldn't put it past him to clutch a 1v4, considering everything that he's done so far throughout this entire matchup. Zephin taking so much damage. It's a miracle he's not dead. Ansatori just narrowly there finds Rush through the wall as well, but unfortunately he does not catch him. 30 seconds to go. So many angles for him to look through, and really, it's only one of them, so it's not like he can do much about it. HP dwindling down, and it's Reprints with that C1. It's Reprints with the C1 to get that final kill and to keep 5STARS in this for one final round. It is truly all to play for. Whichever team wins here, advance through into the upper bracket finals, and are competing, or will be competing against the winner of Arctic Wolves versus REH Gaming tomorrow at, do believe, 7 EU time.
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
Yeah, it probably will be at 19 CEST or CEST.
By attackers.
If not, stay updated on our social media. That is where we will keep you updated about it, or subscribe to the YouTube channel, this YouTube channel at R6 Brawl for it all, to get any notifications of our future streams whenever we go live. Of course, we're not going to spam you with random things of us going live with, I don't know, a morning routine or
5 seconds to insertion.
I don't know, a nail polish U-Haul. It's just this. It's just revival games. I guess not just revival games, anything under Brawl for It. Oh my lord. Brawl for It All, which at the moment is only revival. In any case, yeah, tomorrow, either one of these teams will be playing against the winner of REH. Well, no, they're not going to be playing tomorrow, but tomorrow it will be determined the winner of Wolves versus REH, and then that will be the player against whoever wins it here. Could I have said that in a more confusing way? I don't even think so. Unfortunately for 5STARS, and unfortunately for Zephan mainly, they brought a Kaid instead of a bandit. So his little Flores drone, what is it? Rotero drone, isn't going to destroy a bandit charge or the claw. It will only destroy the castle barricades. Okay, Safes has to know that he got droned out, right? He does now, as he gets shot every which way. Did he seriously not see that drone? I want to, or was he just too confident? I want to know. I don't know what happened. But in any case, to capitalize off of his unknowledge, or maybe knowledge, and find that kill. Bring it down to a 3v5 now for them. It is only the opening frag, but due to the fact that it has been a 4v5 so far for the side of ETERNO, it does put them in a quite unfavorable position. Although I say that it has been a 4v5, but it should not be close as it has been, and Venom will find Zephan really not the opening that they wanted. Asatori in a bad position somehow gets away with it. Venom, however, does not. He goes down. Asatori, however, answers right back, finds Selberg. Asatori still on the lurk and could just be finding another kill for himself. But now with the revolver in hand, I don't know how much that is really going to do. Reloading the TCSG and rotating around, taking a little bit more damage if possible, and Keppa is there to find him. It's all down to Z7 now. 1 versus 3. 30 seconds to go. Can he clutch this for his team? I wouldn't put it past him to win it, and I wouldn't put it past 5STARS to throw it all away, but instead it is Keppa with the final one, yet again, proving that slow and steady wins the race. We saw him before be patient. He was patient again, and he got it. Beautiful, beautiful round there. Beautiful played from 5STARS, but oh my god, it should not have been as close as it was. It really goes to show how strong ETERNO are. I mean, they've had a pretty much flawless record all throughout Champions League the entire time they were competing, and they've truly been terrifying to watch. I have to say, they've been terrifying to watch, and every game that they've played, that we've streamed, you know that it's going to be a good one whenever you're watching it. And what did they do right there? They gave us a good one for sure. Although, credit where credit is due, 5 stars, despite Villa not having to be as close as it was, that Chalet comeback is definitely one that I'm going to be talking about it for a while, and I think everybody watching should too, because it truly was something that you don't get to see often. I mean, you really, really, like, in the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of R6 esports, and even more so in the grand scheme of Revival, you really very rarely see comebacks like that happen. And not only did 5 stars win that map, but they managed to come out on top in Villa as well. And just, credit where credit is due. That was a beautiful, beautiful comeback. Although, please, if you're watching this, and I know that you guys will be, for the love of God, take my advice. If you're playing against an aggressive team, punish the aggression with aggression. The only rounds that you won is rounds where that is exactly what you did. It's science, it's math, it makes sense. In any case, congratulations, or commiserations rather, to ETERNO. They left their hearts out there on the field. It was really unfortunate that they lost a player halfway through that Villa game, and that they were not able to continue with their full stack. Although it really didn't feel like they needed that fifth player, considering how close they still kept it as a 4v5. And, Ansatori is terrifying to watch as well. Truly a force to be reckoned with. I mean, the amount of opening kills that he solely got all the way back on Theme Park, the things that he was doing to 5 stars on Chalet, and then basically single-handedly bringing these rounds to overtime and to round 15 here on Villa is truly remarkable. He is definitely one of those players that you look at and you're like, whoa, this is a player. This is a player, and if circumstances were different, this is a player that I would not be surprised to see in way higher tiers of play. So commiserations to ETERNO. They are not out of the game yet. They're not out of the competition. They will be going down into the lower brackets to compete against. Who will it be? They will be playing against, I think, Blue Jays North Star or Lumina. Okay, they're going to be playing against Blue Jays North Star next in the lower bracket quarterfinals. And then it's a whole other journey from there. But I said it already at the start when I was talking about 5 stars potentially being in this exact position where they're going to be going on to the lower brackets, because, I was ye of little faith, and I did not think that 5 stars were going to be able to do, but they did it anyway. But what I said is that, G2 had this exact same run. They were in a similar position like this. I think it was round 1 or 2. It was round 2, probably. Round 2 or 3, maybe, of upper brackets at SI 2023. And they made that run count. They got all the way down into the lower brackets. They fought their way, every single team, one by one, and they got into the grand finals, and they won it. What was it, a 3-1, something like that? It was insane. So, not all is lost. Oh, yeah, MVP. Yeah, I was just going to say, not all is lost yet for ETERNO. They still have a pretty good chance to make it back. Overall MVP for the match, I think if I don't give it to Zephan, they'll probably kill me. I don't think that there's anyone else that I could give it to. Just because he was really holding down the fort for his team. I think on Theme Park, they were a little bit more even for a lot of the stuff, but on Chalet, he was the only one holding 5 stars together until they got it through their heads that they need to take gunfights and they need to win them. Because up until that point, he was at like 12 kills. The rest of them were all like 3. So, and then, of course, on Villa, he was also going absolutely insane. If you follow Reprints on Twitter, you'll know that, one of his running jokes is Zephan go kill. But I don't even think that it's a joke at this point, because if you tell Zephan go kill, he will kill everything in his path. That it is terrifying. Just as terrifying probably as Ansatori. Just depends on which side of the equation you're looking at it from. But yeah, my MVP for today will be Zephin. Oh my god, that was a player. But yeah, that will close out this map, or not this map, this game that ran so much longer than I ever expected it to. I mean, thinking back to some of the games that we casted throughout the qualifiers, where they were like a 7-0 closeout in like 30 minutes, and then we have like a 2.5 hour break because like the schedule ended up that way. And just thinking how much I hated that, and then going into the finals or the playoffs and seeing this where it goes to map 3 and it's overtime twice and it's like the most nerve-wracking situation of your life. It's truly an experience, and I'm so glad that I get to be a part of it. But anyway, I've rambled on enough, and I need dinner. These players need dinner. I'm gonna go eat. But anyway, thank you everybody for watching. This has been an absolute show. Thank you, everybody, for playing. Thank you, Happy, for observing and producing as well. After doing it yesterday, I don't want to do it ever again. But in any case, thank you, everybody, for watching. Make sure to stay subscribed to this channel so that you know when we next go live, and follow us on social media as well so that you know when we post nifty little stuff. Anyway, my name's Retro, and thank you, everybody, for watching. Have a good night. Bye-bye.